Okay, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. And check your legs. Maybe your coccyx slightly raised, and this keeps the sacrum upright, stops it from kind of slumping. And then when it does that, then your back kind of slumps over. So we want our shoulders over our hips, so nicely aligned, hands in the meditation mudra. If your feet are flat on the floor, make sure they're in a parallel position, your legs aren't crossed. And if you're sitting on a cushion, legs in a nice, relaxed, cross-legged position, whatever's comfortable. And if you're not injured or sick, if you're on a couch or in your comfy chair, try not to sink into the chair like you would if you're watching telly. So just try and support yourself. And just imagine that there's a piece of string, a string of light pearls running through your spine. There's somebody above the crown of your head very gently lengthening your spine. So you just notice everything stretching out. Almost imperceptible change as you lengthen your spine. Head slightly tipped forward, eyes down, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax your jaw. Just go up to the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, your temples, your eyes, nose, cheeks, your ears, mouth, jaw, again, chin. Go back to the back of the head. Relax that part of the scalp. And you'll notice when you do it a second time, your face relaxes yet even further. Your ears, just let everything go. Relax your shoulders and neck and the throat, and chest and belly, arms, hands, fingers, legs, your feet and your toes. Check your shoulders are over your hips, head slightly. Keep remembering that not to have the head like your chin up, head slightly tipped forward. This prevents agitation in the mind. Or so they say in the text. Okay, so now we're doing this for this purification practice in the context of the four opponent powers. So just bring to mind your day. Try and bring your mind in the same place where your body is. Maybe there's something you would like to, something you've remembered over the week that you'd like to specifically purify, something you'd like to think about. Meanwhile, just notice the air flowing in through the nostrils, the sensation of the air flowing in, slightly cool, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. Bring the mind to the breath. And just think we're doing this meditation this evening. Purify ourselves, clear up our karma, so we can continue on our path to enlightenment without obstacles and with enough merit to have the resources that we need to be able to do our practice. Let's remember there is no negativity that cannot be purified. No matter what you've done, no matter what you've done that you don't remember, it's all possible to purify. So the first of the four opponent powers is regret. And just remember to remind, I always like to remember, find it very encouraging. Rinpoche says that just even regretting sincerely from your heart is purification in itself. Because if you really sincerely regret, you probably are unlikely to do something a negative action quite so easily second time round. So think with regret of any harm you've done to any living being today, this week, past lives. Think of specific actions of your body and your speech. So remembering again that's the reason to regret is based on the logical karma. As we cause suffering to others, we will in turn suffer. So we don't want this. We like to pull out all the seeds before they turn into weeds. So any little suffering we're experiencing right now, we know we don't want more, or we don't want it to continue. So the logic is here that we, as I said, pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So any broken vows we have, if we have pratamoksha, bodhisattva, tantric vows, if we've broken any of these, and it's always good to remind ourselves what they even are. Regret from the depths of our heart. And regret all our anger, all our attachment. These are the causes of why we harm others. So think, what can I do about this? Whom can I turn to? So here in this particular practice, we're turning to Buddha Vajrasattva. So we take refuge in Buddha Vajrasattva. We're relying upon his methods to heal ourselves. So we're not necessarily asking for forgiveness. We're using these methods. So here he is. So visualize Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, facing the same direction as you. And you can imagine that this is the manifestation, or this is the mind of your own Guru, manifesting in this way for your benefit. So your Lama, your teacher, your mentor, your trusted mentor. So he's made of radiant, blissful, white light, translucent. He's sitting cross-legged on a lotus. And his face is radiant and beautiful. He's got these lotus-like eyes, and they're looking at you and all sentient beings simultaneously. There's unbelievable acceptance, love, compassion, and in a non-judgmental way. You can also imagine he's wearing these, the style of the Indian royalty, beautiful silken robes. You can imagine they may be blowing in the wind, also made of light. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, left underneath the right, and the left holding a bell representing wisdom, the right holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and then being crossed represents the union of these, symbolizing enlightenment itself. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely on other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So first of all, just think of anybody you may have harmed recently in the past, and then in general, maybe you've harmed people and not realized, or you've forgotten. All beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And now we develop compassion for those who have harmed us, and this is a little bit more difficult. And so, slowly, if it's difficult, if you have someone who's harmed you, given you enormous harm, that's really affected and curtailed aspects of your life, don't necessarily, start slowly, little by little. Maybe someone who's harmed you a little bit, develop compassion for them. Because for the harm they've done to you, these people are going to suffer enormously. So you need to develop compassion because of this reason. So we're going to make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. And I must purify for their sake. So the power of the remedy, so this is the medicine. This is what we use to heal ourselves. So the first one is purification of the body. So imagine, visualize Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful white nectar, kind of quite powerfully, from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown, pouring into your entire body, filling you completely. So it keeps kind of pouring and pouring in and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of this inky liquid which pours out of you and disappears into space. It doesn't cause any pollution. And there's not one atom left of your negativity, of any harm you've done with your body. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiri Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. I'll be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified. I think there is no way you could do anything except benefit others now with your body. So purification of speech. So now just imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending out light from his heart, powerful nectar from his heart, arcing around and sort of entering your crown chakra, filling the entire body. So this time, instead of forcing out, it forces up to the top of your body, all the negativity of your speech. And this just kind of overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So as LAMA YESHE says, it's kind of similar to when you turn on the tap of the sink and you're filling up a dirty glass and all kind of the junk flows out of the top of the glass. So this is in a similar way. This is what we visualize. So imagine that all the gossip, the harsh speech and useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this nectar filling you. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokayo mebowa anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now again, feel so happy that your speech is completely purified. And imagine there's nothing other than you can do except be of benefit to others with your speech. So just imagine how amazing it would be. Every word that falls from your lips is sweet sounding to others and is an enormous benefit to them. How incredible. So next, the purification of the mind. Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful beams of light from his heart, arcing around and entering your crown chakra, filling your entire being. And just as LAMA YESHE says, as you walk into a room, switch on a light, it immediately dispels the darkness. So in this same way, the minute the light from Guru Vajrasattva hits your heart, all your negativities of the mind completely gone. All your attachment and neediness and anger and depression, disappointment, resentment, jealousy, bitterness, anxiety, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Now again, be delighted. All your delusions, the source of your suffering, the reason why we harm others, with our body, speech, and mind, or our body and speech, totally purified, gone, finished. So think, now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. How amazing. So now we're going to purify even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So this time, imagine that Guru Vajrasattva sends light again, filling completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprint of negative energy from your mind. I think somebody's mic might be on. So just imagine this. So the visualization for this is, you can either do each one of the previous visualizations one after the other. If you are brave enough, you can try doing them simultaneously. Or if that's kind of too much, you can just visualize light and nectar coming. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta me boa sawa siddhi me yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tathagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tathagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dina mebowa, sutokaya mebowa, supokaya mebowa, anarakta mebowa, sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tathagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. I think amazing, I'm now completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in my mind stream. Just think, fantastic. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next, the fourth opponent power is the power of resolve. So such a crucial step is the determination not to harm with our body, speech, and mind again. And without this determination, we're going to keep falling into the same old patterns, following the same habits. We're going to keep having our body and speech be the servants of our delusions, our anger, our ignorance, our attachment. So we don't want that. So with this determination, the aspiration not to harm, this is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new and more positive directions. So remember, as Lama Yeshe says, everything exists on the tip of a wish. We want to change. We want to stop these habits. So if we can't, I just choose something. This is why I think it's quite helpful to choose something to work on, maybe each day. So if you've noticed you've perhaps been gossiping or not totally paying attention to somebody who's talking to you, or you're interrupting somebody, just little things that maybe you'd like to change. Just think, okay, so I'm not going to do this tomorrow, or I won't do this to this person for an hour or 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever you can manage. So we try not to lie to ourselves. So I'm never going to do this ever again. And you know that perhaps you might not be able to keep that. So we just think for ourselves something that we would like to work on, to change. So imagine now Guru Vajrasattva, your Lama, completely delighted and wanting to merge with your mind. Guru Vajrasattva melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my body, speech and mind, same thing. LAMA YESHE calls this union oneness. So Lama Rinpoche recommends meditating on the 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, just try and place your mind in that spot for a moment. So thinking of all phenomena as empty. Things aren't existing necessarily the way we think they are. Things are impermanent, not fixed, not existing inherently from their own side. So just meditate this way for a couple of minutes before we dedicate. Just think how amazing. We've been here for almost 30 minutes. We've packed so much into that short space of time. So you can think of anybody that you know, dedicate the merit you've created today, this evening, for anybody you know who might be suffering. Maybe we can think particularly of, you know, all the monks and nuns in Kopan. You know, I heard of one today who's quite seriously ill with COVID, one of the Geshis. And then all the people in India, everyone in the United States, or all over the world who's suffering with this COVID. Anyone who's having any other difficulties, any problems. Anyone in your own family, your friends, someone who maybe have passed, any pets you have. Just dedicate the merit for their well-being, their health, their happiness, and for your own enlightenment. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to abide in equanimity, free from the closeness of attachment and the distance of hatred. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. And immeasurable loving kindness, how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to achieve Buddhahood. May they achieve Buddhahood. I myself will cause them to achieve Buddhahood. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Immeasurable compassion, how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they be free from suffering and its causes. I myself cause them to be free from suffering and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. And immeasurable joyfulness, how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were never separated from the happiness of higher rebirth and liberation. May they never be separated from these. I myself will cause them never to be separated from these. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. And then, as a result of the 3 times merits of myself and others, may bodhicitta, from which the happiness of all sentient beings comes, be generated in the minds of self and other sentient beings without delay, even for 1 second, and that which has been generated may it increase. So let's move on to the long life prayers. Yeah, for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers honoring the 3 jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please, please live long. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mary Camille. So nice to see you. And Barbara and Beth and Victor, Venerable Palma, Som, Anthony, Mary Ellen, good night.